to Saturday Morning Momentum, where we are going to get something done in the next hour or hour and a half. We have Power Hour today, and I'm Kat of Kat's Novel Adventures for anyone who's new here. And I am being joined today by these four lovely ladies who make up the A team of Saturday Morning Momentum. A standing for amazing.
Oh.
So just remember that this is the A team, and we are here to hopefully inspire y'all, and you can inspire us. We're all about inspiration, motivation, support, community. We just want to, encourage and in the process get something done in our lives, whether it is something as simple as catching up on reading, or you've got some financial tasks you need to complete, or you're working on your 25 for 2025 list like Liz and I are doing this year. Whatever the case may be, whatever you want to do, you have 1 hour to either start something, complete something, or whatever. It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever your intention is for today. So I am glad to be back. We weren't here last week. Glad to be back because I'm in the process of resetting and regrouping for myself. Monday, the 22nd, I believe, or Tuesday, we're 100 days until this year ends. 100 days. So whatever you have on your plate that you want to try to get clean off that plate before the end of the year, you've got 100 days. Starting next Monday or Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's the 22nd because I want to say it's the same day as the first day of fall, which is Monday. So hello, Liz, Laurie, Jen, and Lee. It's so good to see y'all. I have missed y'all, even though I communicate with you. I just love seeing your faces and getting to spend some time with you. So how did your week go, Liz? How did everything go?
It was really good. Actually, this morning it was like 55 when I took my dog out. There were like crunchy leaves on the ground. I could smell the wood fires. I was like, oh, it was all the vibes, as the kids say. So that was the perfect way to start today. I didn't have anything sort of concrete or measurable this week. My stuff was all big life decisions, and I made them. So now we'll see what happens.
I love that. I love that. Because decision making is very hard, very hard. I will also, since you're saying that about decisions, I will pop a link here and I will pop a link in the Discord. Gretchen Rubin, I listened to a podcast yesterday on my way to Baton Rouge, and it was all about tackling the big thing. Whatever the big thing is for you, whether it's relationships, whether it's finances, whether it's a big move, whatever it is. And it really was kind of neat the way they talked about it, and how if you can tackle this big thing, even though it's going to be uncomfortable, or it's like something that you've been avoiding, or whatever the case may be, how much lighter you'll feel when you tackle it and get it done, kind of thing. So I'll add that in there. You made me think with the decisions, that would be good for people who are in the same kind of quandary. How about you, Laurie? How did your week go?
It went well. It was different than I anticipated. I did not end up going to DC at the last minute, which is a very complicated conversation, but it was the best decision for me in the moment. So I didn't go this year, and nobody, nothing terrible happened. So that's good. And so more on that, I guess, another day. But anyway, so I really just had some time to get some things done and focus. My focus was great this week, which means, something's working that I'm doing, and that makes me happy. And so I was able to get a good amount of work completed, that's part of it, is I feel like I'm behind a lot this time of the year. And it's overwhelming. And I did a video about that this week. A lot of things are overwhelming these days. And so I just tried to sort of tackle the overwhelm and look at it differently. And it was a pretty good week.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
How about you, Jen? How's things going? I know you said when I touched base with you yesterday, it was kind of like a mixed bag.
We'll say the highs are real high, but the lows are really low. Let's hit the high points first. Wednesday, I went with my daughter to have her bridal portraits done. Her
Oh.
wedding is October 19th, and she looked beautiful, which I'd already seen her in the dress before, but helping her get the veil and you seeing the actual pictures, and I cried a little bit. So that was a wonderful day. Thursday's my busiest day of teaching with 3 classes. And of course, that's the day where chaos ensued. First of all, Rena was getting her ready to get on the school bus, and she has to use a transfer chair to get from the house to the bus. But when she stood up to get ready to get in the transfer chair, she fell over backwards, knocked over a table, knocked over a book. She was fine. She, gets right back up. But that, I was trying to get her and hurry up and get her on the bus. And then my cat, the lovely Karma, she loves toilets, so we always have to keep the toilet seat down. So I was getting ready to sit on the toilet. I mean, just that fast. I had lifted the lid and started to sit down. She dashed on top of it.
Oh
and then
my gosh.
into the toilet. So I had to bathe her. And if you know cats, they're not fans of baths. But if you get in the toilet, if you swim in the toilet bowl, right? Cat says don't swim in the toilet bowl. So
Don't swim in the toilet in comparison.
Yeah, you got to get a bath. And then I realized also I had just had one of my Rena's important medications refilled, and I could not find it. I was like, why is it not in the basket with everything else? What's happening? Turned the house upside down, and I finally realized, did I throw this away in like cleaning up the kitchen? And of course I did, but this is really disgusting, but I had to deal with it, like actually deal with it. So y'all are going to listen to it. So I was cleaning up. I had like a Walmart bag when I was cooking dinner that night, so I wouldn't have to bring the whole trash can in there and then full with the cats getting into it. So I was like just putting the trash as I cooked, dinner. And then I was like, well, now I need to scoop out the cat litter box, so I'll just use this same bag. Thursday morning, I dumpster dived in my big garbage can outside. I had to open the bag with the cat litter. That's where my daughter's newly filled prescription was.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to get my hands in that, scrub my hands, scrub the bottle, then somehow get my brain together to teach 3 classes, which I did. And I think I made sense because the students looked like they were, getting what I was saying.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
Yesterday was a fun day, although it was an expensive day. Tim was actually off work, so we went and had a little day date to lunch, finished buying all the alcohol for the wedding. And suffice it to say, in total, I don't even want to tell y'all, but probably around $1,000 worth total of all the stuff. So,
Wow. Wow.
Y'all want to party?
Yes.
Party. And I did get a little bit of work on my presentation done. So, it was a time. It was a week. What can I say?
I'm telling you, but the whole connection between the toilet and then having to deal with the cat litter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We came in threes that day, right? Rena fell,
Yeah.
cat in the toilet, dumpster diving, and cat litter.
Yep, you came in threes. And well, at least you knocked it out in one day.
I did. Yes.
Oh, so Lee, I hope you can take us up.
Unfortunately, I can't. I had a shitty week. I
no.
feel horrible. I went from back pain to just crying over everything yesterday to getting completely sick.
Oh.
Literally laying in bed with my nose just dripping, so I had like tissue shoved against my face all night.
Oh no.
But you know what? I knew I had to be here because I know you guys and everybody in the chat is just going to make me feel better.
Oh.
And instead of just laying in bed with a tissue shoved up my nose, crying over Emerald Lagasse and Drew Barrymore, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just come on here and try to be somewhat productive. So.
Yes. Well, we love you, Lee, and we're glad that you're here with us. We love seeing you. And I'm sorry you're having a shitty week. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like you and Jen had something in common,
Exactly.
just a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Shitty in all kinds of ways, right, Lee?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh, well, let's see who is here with us this morning, who's hanging out and wanting to get some things done. Alexis is here. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Mindy is here. So much to do today after a busy birthday month. I am playing catch up. It happens when you play, you pay, right? Oh, happy birthday month to Mindy. And good morning, Tina. Happy Saturday. Good to see you again. She was over in Alex's sprints last night. Mindy said, I need to do a mountain of laundry during the hour, probably. I'm going to wait to film a month's worth of videos until I am more awake. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Good plan.
And howdy, everyone from Swank. Happy Queso Day. Happy World Red Panda Day. Happy Eat an Apple Day. Happy birthday to George R.R. Martin and Upton Sinclair.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot. And then, hello, Eleanor. Enjoy these Saturday morning coffee chats. Well, we enjoy you being here. And morning, Jen. Happy Saturday. I hope you had a good week. You know, Jen is a teacher. And a high school teacher at that. And she is working on her library degree. So she's got a lot going on. And she is a content creator. I don't know how she does it. And she does have 2 chaotic kitty cats that she deals with. Not sure if she's ever experienced what you have, Jen, but
You never know.
And good morning, Alicia. Just popping in to say hello and hug the like button before I run off to Disney Springs with my friend. Ooh, I hope you have a fun time at Disney Springs. And then good morning, Pam. First time here. Well, welcome. Welcome. We appreciate you being here. This is our time where we're just saying our hellos. We're going to set our intentions for Power Hour. And you have an hour to spend doing whatever your intention is for the morning. It could be as laid back as like Eleanor, enjoying her coffee, maybe reading, or it could be as intense as cleaning out your office, or, you know, in my case, I have to get my plans for next week and put that on paper. I started, but I didn't get to finish. So welcome. Let us know what you're going to be up to. And then Jen said, it's been a rough few weeks back to work, so I am behind in things. Yes, that's always the case. My difference was when I taught, we started earlier, and it wasn't until after Labor Day. Whatever the magic thing about Labor Day, that extra day, that is when I actually started feeling like I was in my rhythm. Now, that was, of course, if a hurricane didn't like interrupt our, season, our time, because otherwise you would lose almost like a week of your life if a hurricane hit in your area. But that is how long it would take me, about 3 or 4 weeks to get, depending on when we started school, to get into my rhythm. So I understand that, because you went back to school after Labor Day. So yeah, that is tough. So we are going to talk about our intentions. Alexa says, my intention for this hour will be to complete my October TBR.
That's fun.
Jen says, I have had to clean up after my orange cat Nugget a lot. He likes to pull my food out of the cabinets and eat it on the rugs.
Oh.
Interesting. So you have a cabinet surfer. I have a counter surfer. That is Bailey. Bailey's new thing lately is counter surfing. And I'm like, look, little girl, there is nothing up here for you. Good morning, Andy. Welcome. What are you going to be up to today during Power Hour? Let us know your intentions. So tell me, Liz, what's on the agenda for you?
I think I'm going to look at my 25 and 25 list and kind of see if there's anything I want to be working on or ignoring for the coming week. And then I also want to see if there's any estate sales happening by me, because it seems like a perfect day for that.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. Laurie, what's on your agenda?
So I had started the morning thinking I was going to clean and tidy up and organize. And then I was just like, no. So no. So I'm so excited about Series September. I haven't read a ton because I'm just not able to this month, but I've read 2 so far, I think, and an arc. So maybe three. Yeah, because I just finished one today. So I'm going to just read another series, September book, and see how many I can get done before the end of the month.
Excellent. How about you, Jen?
I'm gonna get dressed because like a little bit later today, I'm going to lunch with my friend, and then also during the hour, I'm just gonna read. I'm doing a reread of The Shining, a buddy read, and I probably have 200 something pages left in it. So that's all I'm gonna do during this hour: get dressed and read because it's been a week.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what you need to do. You need to set aside that's self-care. So
Yeah.
your power hour is all about self-care. That's awesome. How about you, Lee?
I had wrote out last night during my crying fest. I'd written out a list of, because you mentioned there's 100 days left in the year. I wrote out a list of going over all my goals for the year. I was kind of like, what do I not, same thing as Liz, like, what do I not care about? This isn't going to happen. And what do I really want to get done? So I made that list. And now I want to see like what of that I could incorporate into next week and start planning out how I'm going to get all that done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame y'all. Sometimes you have to let go. Yeah, the 100 days is actually on the 23rd, September 23rd. So that's the 100-day mark that we have to do. And of course, your last quarter of the year starts October 1st, so depending on how you want to track whatever that is. Usually Liz and I kind of like meet up and say, okay, what do you have left? What do you have to do? Liz is my sounding board about, help me come up with a solution kind of thing. So I am happy to say that I did get a new chair from my office, which was on my list, but it's not new. It belonged to Andrew. I got his chair and his desk because they moved, but it's new to me and it's way more comfortable than that hard kitchen chair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I am going to be working. My first thing is to finish my plans for next week, to plan my week. And then I need to get back into Atomic Habits. I have chapter 20 and the conclusion, and I have to update Discord. I am the last, remaining person for this read along that I need to finish that if I can. I don't know if I'll finish, but at least I can make a dent and get my thoughts out there. So that's what's on my plans, my intentions. So Jen says, yes, I have child locks on them.
Cats are smart.
Yes.
They are. Swank's going to continue with her self-help book. Very nice. Tina's intentions are to do my morning routine and to listen to my audiobook. Excellent. And Jen said my plan is to do laundry and dishes and finish edit my Addie LaRue video.
Oh, yay.
Nice. I still have not read that book. And hello, Andy. Welcome. Good morning, all. My intention for this hour is to update my reading record. Excellent. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get our kitty cat up. And let's see, it would help if I start. So there we go. Okay, so happy Power Hour, everyone.
Yay.
Welcome back. I hope everybody did well during that hour that flew by. Oh my goodness, that went by fast. Which is a good thing. That means you get lost in whatever you're doing and you feel like you're making some kind of progress. At least that's how it felt for me. So I was able to plan my week for next week. I am holding myself accountable. I'll explain that when I say what my intentions are. And my week that I planned, I looked at my 25 for 25 list, so that I can get some of these things knocked off. I also started reading Chapter 20. Chapter 20 is all about the downside of creating good habits. I'm really struck by this reflection and review, and getting caught in the trap of complacency. So I got to finish that chapter and move on to the next one, but glad that I'm getting close to wrapping the book up. Again, thank you, Lee, for being my accountability partner with this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so Liz, how did you do?
Well, it started off great. I was looking at my goals and figuring out what I still wanted to do, what I didn't want to do. And then I got an alert from Instagram that something about my account, which is interesting because I deactivated. So I don't have any social media anymore. So I had to figure all that out. Yeah, that was fun. I love social media. It's so great.
Right.
But, so yeah, I wasn't productive in the way that I had hoped, but at least all that squared away.
Well, at least you put out a fire or a potential fire for that. Yeah. Social media is, it's got its good points. It's got its bad points. The problem is social media is supposed to be a servant to us, but sometimes it becomes the master. So you have to make sure that you walk that fine line. And then some people, it's, they just don't want to be on it. And I appreciate that as well, because you really can get sucked in. You really can. I mean, Laurie made a big decision to take a hiatus from Facebook. So, just recently. So, Laurie, what did you get accomplished?
So I started to read and I'm enjoying the book, but I've been up for weeks. I've been up at 4 a.m. I may have told you because I have a dog that gets up at 4 a.m. now. And this morning, 2 of them got up at 4 a.m. So I have been up for a while and I didn't sleep great. So I was reading and I was starting to fall asleep. So I went and got myself a cafe latte protein shake, which I swear by. And I love those. And then I did some Sudoku. I can never say that right, but I think I did it right. I did some Sudoku puzzles because I recently learned how to do that. And I feel really special now that I can finish. I was just stumped by them for so long.
I love it.
And so, yeah, that's what I did to stay awake. And I set my intentions because I hadn't even thought about my intentions yet for what we want to talk about later. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. And Jen, how did you do? Did you
I
get
did
dressed?
well. Yeah, got dressed and read a little bit more of The Shining.
Are you loving it again?
I am, and it's so interesting because the last time I read it, I was actually a teenager. So reading it then and then reading it through a 50-year-old's eyes, it's amazing. I love rereading books like that because you see something differently depending on your age. I mean, obviously with Stephen King and Pet Sematary versus reading it as a teenager and reading it as a parent, but
Exactly.
even with The Shining. And you forget, if you watch the movie so many times, you know how different it is. But I forgot just how sad this book is and how emotionally I am devastated by Jack's descent. Because in the movie, he starts off he's already descended. It's done.
Wacky. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the big difference between the miniseries and the Stanley Kubrick. Yeah. In the Stanley Kubrick, he's unhinged from the very beginning. That you see it when he meets with the guy about the job. You can just feel it, different vibes than when you watch the miniseries. The miniseries, to me, Steven Weber's portrayal of Jack Torrance is more succinct with his personality in the book.
Yeah.
Not to say that Jack Nicholson's performance in Stanley Kubrick's movie is not excellent, but it's in its own way. You just have to kind of separate it from, and the thing about it is I think the Jack Nicholson portrayal, when you see that movie, Jack Torrance is like from the very beginning unlikable. Like you don't really, you kind of feel sorry for his family right off the bat.
Yeah. He's
Whereas in the book and the Steven Weber, your heart goes out to him because you see, and the effect and everything. So
I actually cried a little bit last night reading it when he was Jack was thinking about his father and how his father was abusive. Yeah. And his father makes that like reappearance, or Jack thinks he hears him on the radio, and he's like, "You can't be here. I've cut every part of that out. You're not part of me." And that made me so sad because he's trying so hard not to be that.
Right.
I'm devastated.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're devastated, but I get it. How about you, Lee? How was your hour?
So first I want to say I agree with Liz and Laurie because I didn't delete my account. I deleted Instagram off of my phone.
Oh, good.
About a month ago. So it's still there, which means my husband can still send me funny things and then show them to me at night on the phone. So he still gets that. And like my brother and a couple of friends who send me stuff, they're like, when you like sign back on, you could see them. I'm just still going to send you stuff. I'm like, that's fine. It's a good funny thing.
That's a good thing, Lee, because Catherine Price in her book, How to Break Up with Your Phone, one of the things that she talks about is getting rid of your apps, your social media apps, to where you literally have to go to the browser, sign in anytime you want to get on there. Most people do not want to do that. And I'm going to tell you, I did it for Facebook because at the time I wasn't really super active on Instagram. It wasn't like I was checking as much as I was on Facebook. And I do a couple of things weekly on Facebook. And I'm telling you, every time I had to sign in, I'm just like, I almost don't even want to even do that this week, because I had to, and you think that that's not a big deal because we used to have to sign in before apps, right? But it just goes to show you how easy you get sucked in, the easier they make the things.
Well, and I didn't realize, a friend of mine reached out and said, "Hey, I thought you were off Facebook." And I said, "I am." And she said, "You're still posting on Facebook?" And I said, "No, I'm not." But if I post on Instagram, it goes to Facebook. So I tried to like detach that, but I don't think I did it right.
I think what you need to do, Laurie, is whenever it asks you, there's a part. There's somewhere on there where you can detach it. I think it's in the bottom, or sometimes,
but I couldn't
sometimes when you're about to post, I think you can detach it at that point too.
Okay.
But you might have to go into the settings.
Yeah, well, that's what I tried, but I don't know that worked either. But I don't want to go look at Facebook to see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Another tip, if you're trying to break up with your phone or like the apps, Gretchen Rubin talked about this, is going grayscale. Put your phone in grayscale. It's not as attractive to you. But if anybody wants to just like get into the real world again, I would recommend Catherine Price's book, and also just trying, like Lee did, like getting that app off of there or going to grayscale. So Lee, what else did you do?
Well, the other thing I wanted to mention was Jen just talked about not reading The Shining since she was a teenager. I have 2 books that I've been looking at the bottom of my shelf that I read as a teenager and I thought were amazing. But I'm like, as an adult now, how would I feel about them? So my plan is to read both of those next year to see if like it was just, that teenage horrible adult life glamorous that you thought it was, or would I still feel the same way? I don't know. So I have 2 books of that. But I went through
the titles.
One is called Small Town Girls by Pamela Wallace, and the other is called Queenie by I don't even know who.
Is Queenie by Judy Blume?
No.
Okay.
It's about, as far as I remember, it was about a girl who becomes a model actress and the dark side of that world, and how all she cares about is preserving herself because her beauty is the only thing that matters to other people. That's all I really remember about that one. The Small Town Girls was about 4 girls who, it's not prom night, but it's like a end of the graduation party. Something bad happens that night, and then like the 4 of them go on to live very different lives, and now it's like 20 years later and somebody is going to reveal that secret and what lengths they're willing to go to.
That one sounds really good.
I won't read that one again. But as I went through my essential list of 2025 things to do, I'm like, damn, this is still a long list of things to do. Like, why was I so ambitious in the beginning of the year?
You know why? You know why you're ambitious? Because the year is wrapping up. You're trying to get rid of all the cruddy things or whatever, and you're excited about the blank slate.
Yes.
It energizes you, and you put all these wonderful things on your list, and you're like, what was he thinking?
You still feel like the person who wrote that list is the person you are today? Because I had a big sense of weirdness around that.
That might be a good way to like go back and pare down on some stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you say that, Liz, too, because I went to an author event yesterday. It was Brian Pinkney and Andrea Davis Pinkney. They are picture book authors, although Andrea Davis did write a book in verse that I ended up buying. But one of the things Andrea Davis was saying is that, you know, when you as a writer are writing a book or whatever, you have to keep in mind that whoever reads your book is going to come out the other side of it changed, you know, in a way. Like you're different than the person who started the book, depending on what you get out of the book, you know, how it resonates with you. So it's the same thing with, you know, your make that list. And then think of all the things that we read and we experience or we see, you know, like if we watch a movie or anything like that. So every time we do something, it kind of inspires us to change in some way, whether it's just a little change or not. So something we really thought we wanted to do when we're actually about to do it, we're like, do I really want to do this? Like, why am I doing this? Or am I doing it because I read this somewhere that this would be a good idea to do?
Yes.
And then you also have to know yourself and know your tendency. I'm a questioner. So a lot of times, if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't want to do it. I can't justify it to myself. And if I'm actually spending too much time researching or trying to make a decision, then I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not ready to do whatever this is because I'm in research mode and I'm not helping myself at all. It's making me crazy. But let's see what everybody else got into. I want to say that Emma popped in to say hello and reminded everybody to boop the like button. That is always appreciative. Alicia did sign off to go to Disney Springs. We had someone else pop in. Armand came in to tell us hello and asked us what we were up to. And Molly Dot came in. Molly said she's mostly only going to plan to do daily essentials today and otherwise rest. I did far too much on Thursday and ended up going back to bed a few times yesterday. I have to give Molly some gold stars because she has been having, you know, a stumbling block of trying to get out more, to do certain things out in public and just even going outside sometimes for her. And she has made some strides. So I really am excited for her, you know, because that's one way of trying to get over whatever your fears are or stumbling blocks. So I just want to give a shout out to Molly for that. I also popped in Gretchen Rubin's podcast, Tackle the One Big Hard Thing. So we have a link here, and I also linked it in podcast recommendations on the Saturday morning momentum section on the Discord. If y'all want to listen to that, it's really, I thought, very helpful. There's a couple of my friends are going through things, and I'm like, this would be good for them to know that they're doing the one big hard thing, you know, and some of it was speaking to me about stuff too. So that's why I'm like, you know what, I need to, you know, really look at my list and try to tackle some of these things that I think are overwhelming. And then also, for whatever reason, I couldn't put the link here, but there is a wellness habit routine mistakes video posted in Discord by Kim Foster. This is the link. If anybody wants to check this out. Oh, that's Gretchen. Oh, did I post it twice? What the heck? Okay. I'm like, I don't know what was wrong. I'm gonna have to redo that. Sorry. I'm pretty sure that I saved it. I don't know. Technology cracks me up. And I can't do the links real good on here on StreamYard. I have to go and do it on my phone. So that was user error. I'll put that in, but it is in video recommendations under Saturday Morning Momentum. It's not very long, maybe about 10 minutes, but she goes over 5 mistakes that she made when it comes to habits, routines, and all this. Like, it's about talking about perfection. It's talking about, what you envision of what you have to be. And I really appreciated that because like I would get hard on myself about not being able to walk every day 30 minutes. I'm trying to keep track with my morning. Well, yesterday I had to be in Baton Rouge. I could have, but that's how I get run down. If I don't stick to when I'm getting up my normal time, if I'm getting up too early, I find that's when I start getting run down. So yesterday, I skipped my morning walk so I could get to Baton Rouge on time. And I planned on doing it yesterday afternoon, and I did not. And I just let it go. I recorded in my little notebook. I have my little notebook where I'm keeping all my habits or whatever. And I just put a little 0 and put Baton Rouge to remind myself why I didn't walk, kind of thing. So I don't know. Anyone who's struggling, I know, Lee, you were having some stumbling blocks, with your goals and stuff like that. So like I said, 10 minutes. She's a pleasant person to listen to. And if I can get it up correctly, I'll put it here. Jen said that hour went fast. I didn't edit, but I did get a load of laundry in, the dishes, the kitchen counters, and finished my 3rd book of series September. That is amazing.
That is good.
For an hour. Chris Wildfire came in to tell us hello. Travis is saying, good morning. Legit just opening my eyes and waking up. Needed to get some sleep after the week. And you see, that's what I think is important too. It's like, if you know your body needs to sleep, then you need to sleep. Because I think in the long run, when it kind of like causes the stumbling blocks, at least that's what I feel like happened with me. I think that's why I ended up getting sick. And then what did it do? I was like out of commission for, I couldn't walk for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So that hour went fast, my most productive yet. I was able to prep my October TBR, made, ate breakfast, caught up with my mom, laundry, dishes, and made a to-do list for today. That is excellent. I love the gold stars. Yeah. I love Gretchen Rubin. Thanks for the link. Yeah, she has so many great ideas. I know I talk about her a lot. Y'all probably like stop, but she has put me on a different path. So I owe her a lot. And Tina said, I finished my morning routine and listened to my audiobook. Great. And I got up and put breakfast together. That's awesome. And O was able to read 25% of Your Pain Has a Name. Very, very good. And it said, I got laundry sorted. First load is almost done while listening to my NetGalley audiobook, ARC, Autumn Springs Retirement Massacre.
Oh,
Fracassi.
I want to read it.
I do too. I can't wait.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't know if Philip Fracassi's other books are as good as Boys in the Valley, but I loved that book. I mean, it's a dark book, but I loved it. And I'm excited to try to read more by him. I know that
I think you'd really like A Child Alone with Strangers. That one's really good.
I think that Mindy is a fan of Philip Fracassi because I do see her mention him quite often. So Travis's plans and goals for today is to make coffee, have lunch later, finish homework, Walmart pickup later, and get some reading done. Reading the found footage anthology, Found. Nice. He really is. He is the go-to if you want any kind of found footage book or movie. Travis knows them all. Mindy was able to read a couple of chapters of Sallow Ben by Alan Baxter while the laundry was going. Nice. A couple of years ago, I read The Shining and Dr. Sleep. Yeah, I enjoyed Dr. Sleep as well. I mean, I did. I would, and you don't necessarily have to reread The Shining for it, Laurie, to appreciate it, because he does make references. But if it's been a long time since The Shining and you just want to go down memory lane.
Yeah, I did read Dr. Sleep. It's just been a while ago, and I don't remember how I felt about it. I definitely remember The Shining because I read it as a teenager too. But I was just realizing when she said that, I was like, did I like it? Did I not like it? I don't remember.
Here's my confession. I haven't read Dr. Sleep yet. I've watched
I would recommend
it.
Yeah, I would recommend it. And I think they did a pretty decent job with the movie adaptation.
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson plays Rose the Hat, and I think she was a good choice for that. So it was just nice to get a little bit of closure with Danny Torrance and to know what happened to them after they left, you know.
So I had this vision.
The Shining.
Yeah, I had this vision in my head of what I thought Dr. Sleep. Like, I remember when I was reading it, like we were headed to New Orleans, Lisa's cousins were in, we were spending all this time with them. So I remember all of that, but I was like, did that happen in that book or is that a totally different book? But now when you said that with the woman's name with the hat, I'm like, oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah, because basically in order for her to have her longevity or her evilness or whatever it is, she needs to find the children with the shine. Right. And so Danny Torrance, you know, it had the shine, and apparently there are other children that did too. So
yeah, now I remember, but I want to reread. I just got The Shining again because, you know, it had drowned. And so I think I'm going to reread The Shining, and then I think I'm going to reread Dr. Sleep too. Although I also just bought another one of his the other day, and it's, you know, this big. So.
Oh wow, yeah. His tend to be door stoppers, don't they?
They're so big, yeah.
Travis is also on a Facebook ban. Only reason I'm on instant TikTok is because I started the new TikTok account, so I'm making videos which are fun, and they are fun, very informative as well. Eleanor got the kitchen spruced up, made the bed, did a 10-minute yoga stretch to start the day. That sounds amazing. Recently switched to using my Kindle instead of Kindle app on my phone because reading on my phone makes it easy to get distracted. 100%. It's good if you have another avenue. Swank, like Dr. Sleep, what pissed me off with both films, they changed the story from the book.
Yeah.
I mean, but I still appreciated Dr. Sleep for what they could do, because there's a lot of the issue with Stephen King's books, in my opinion. There's so much that goes on in the mind of your characters. It's hard to translate that.
Yeah,
it's hard to sometimes translate to the atmosphere and the vibes that are given off by the interactions. You know, I just don't think all the time it translates. So considering I have background in film and in, you know, television, I kind of can understand you're trying to shorten something, you know, and put it visually out there. It's just sometimes hard to translate. So, and I also think they have to appeal to people who are not readers.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah. I was just thinking about all of the scenes in Kubrick's movie of Torrance with Jack Nicholson with that face. Like, he says nothing, he does nothing. Right. It's just that face. And that was well done because you don't know exactly what he's thinking, but you know it can't be good. Right.
I think he adds another element of terror in it. And I think that's why The Shining by Kubrick is so, it's just scarier in general because of that. You know, but
also some weird stuff that we
very weird stuff. I mean, there are things, because I saw it when I was young, and I can remember being afraid to go down the hall because I thought for sure I was going to turn the corner and go down the hall and the girls were going to be waiting for me at the hall.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so like, what am I going to do? Stay in my living room the whole time?
The bathtub. I remember the bathtub was.
The bathtub is terrible.
And I do love the book, of course, and I do love the movie too for two different things. You know, I was thinking one of the differences Kubrick made, which was a good choice in my opinion, is instead of having the hedge animals like in the book, making the hedge maze, because I think the hedge animals would have just been silly on screen.
Right. And that's probably why they ended up changing it. And think about when you're in some kind of a maze like that, I mean, you can get lost, and that adds to the anxiety of it, you know, I think too. So, yeah. There's a few Queenies. Could yours be by Candace Cardi Williams? That's to live.
No, I looked it up. It's Michael Corda with a K.
Oh.
Good morning, Jamie. Just couldn't make it up at 6 a.m. this morning. Had a bout of insomnia last night. Hope everyone is well. Well, we appreciate you being here, Jamie. And Swank read and cuddled with her cat. Armand saying hello again. And then thank you to Molly. Woot, Molly. Yes. Lots of love to Molly because it's a big stumbling block for her. Armand said, my current reads is an Indian romance novel titled Our Story Needs No Filter by Sudeep Nagakar. Okay, hope you're enjoying it. I've been doing social media detox since April, and it has been so helpful to me. My reading pace is slow, but I've finished so many books since then and got productive too. Finished writing some stories too. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the whole thing that Catherine Price talks about in her book is about how the iPhone, any kind of smartphone, whatever, was designed literally for you to be addicted to.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to me how much of a difference. Like I look at my phone first thing in the morning only to see if I have a message from my dad, because we don't have a home phone anymore. So we rely on that is our home phone. Right. And if I don't, I just put it down and I go about my day doing what I need to do. And then I'll check later. But, or like if Andrew, somebody that would normally not wait, send me a text early in the morning, but otherwise, I'll get sucked in and then a half an hour or so will go by. And then I'm like, I could have walked. I love all of Philip Fracasse's books, and you can't go wrong with, I always can't pronounce his first name. Is it Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
And I'm so ready for Welcome to Derry on HBO.
Yes.
Also, another goal for the day is to stay off the Whatnot app. I've bought so many good deals on books, $3 or less, and some other collectibles. It's getting addicting. Yeah, you started that on Wednesday.
I feel that, Travis.
Yeah, you need to call my partner, Travis, and tell her the same to get on.
It's so fun, though, Lori.
I know.
I'm not even going to look at it.
Neither.
Oh,
and now she says, it's Christmas shopping. I'm Christmas shopping. And I'm sure she is, but it's just like,
No.
Yeah, it's Christmas shopping and then all other kind of shopping.
That's right.
Travis says, have y'all seen Ready Player One, where they have to go into the shiny movie as one of the challenges? In the book, it's Ferris Bueller.
Oh.
Yeah. I loved Ready Player One, the book, because it was more like 80s decade. I think the reason they must have changed it to more 90s for the film, maybe because of the audience, because Ready Player One is more of a young adult book.
Yeah.
But, and it was fine. It was fine. Andrew didn't read the book and he thought it was kind of a cool movie. So, I'm just like, well, whatever. You have to do what you got to do because you're trying to make money, Yeah. And then Mindy said, I had to quit Whatnot cold turkey because it was getting out of control.
It's addictive.
And I'll have to tell my husband it's Christmas shopping for myself. Treat himself. That's what he's doing. Treat yourself. And there's a 1970 Queenie by Michael Kora. So that's the one. That's the one.
There we go.
Okay, so let's get into our intentions for the upcoming week. So Liz, take us off.
Well, mine's largely to be determined, I think. But the two things that I do know for sure is I want to watch a series of financial literacy videos that a friend forwarded to me. And it's a weird goal, but I have a very, very old teddy bear and it has a small hole in it. And I need to get it fixed. But the only people, it's a specialty kind of situation. And the only people I can find want me to ship the bear to them, and I can't do it. I don't know. I'm too worried that it's going to disappear. So I have to try to find somebody locally that I can hand the bear to and get it handed back to me. So
I think that would be a good idea. Yeah. I would be afraid too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was afraid to send. I mean, this is how kooky I am. I was afraid to send birth certificates for Andrew and myself when we did our passports, that I made sure I had 2 copies.
Yeah.
If they lost it somehow, I still had a copy, because for me, I have to fill out a form and get it notarized and have to mail it to California because that's where I was born. Whereas Andrew, I could just go run to a meet, but still I was like, I know if I don't do this, it's going to get lost in the mail, and then I'm going to need my birth certificate for something, and I'm not going to have enough time to get it.
Yeah.
So I understand that. The key is I buy him stuff too, so he can't be too mad.
That happens here as well.
Laurie, so what is your week? I know you said you were kind of thinking about that while we were doing.
Yeah, so I did kind of get clear on it. So the first thing I'm definitely going to focus on is, well, not the first thing, but one of the things is I'm going to focus on my nonfiction pick that my subscribers picked for me, because I haven't started it yet and I need to get to that. And then I'd like to, I wrote down SS too, but I don't know what SS is. I don't know, but I should probably read 2 books this week because I have
maybe series September, maybe.
Oh yeah, series September. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, so I'm gonna read The Raging Storm on my Kindle. Sheesh.
No, Laura, don't feel bad, because Alex last night on Sprints asked us a specific question about a short story competition, and Robert answered SS equals whatever, and Alex is like, "What does SS stand for?" I really don't know what SS stands for, so I put SS equals short story, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that was the whole purpose of the question."
I know. I feel
I'm with my people. I feel y'all so much. I get
I'm
this.
sleep deprived. That's what I keep telling everybody. I'm sleep deprived. And the vet, we took her to the vet, and I was like, how do we get this to stop? Because she's also barking and crying and yelling, you know, like she did the other day for food and for what attention, I don't know what. And he said, she's trained you. That's the problem. There's nothing wrong with her. She's trained you.
Ooh.
And I was like, I mean, he's been a longtime friend and vet, but I wanted to smack him. I'd rather you told me there was something wrong with her nervous system, even though that sounds cruel.
Right.
Anyway, I have to retrain Agnes. Okay, that should be on my list too. I'm going to do something creative this week because I just haven't, and I feel like I want to, and it's my birthday week, so I have a whole day on my birthday to do something creative and maybe watch a movie at the same time, which is also on my list, is to watch a movie on my birthday, because I almost always do that.
So what day is your birthday?
Tuesday.
So 23rd. You are the 23rd.
Ooh, yeah,
the 23rd.
I was born on my dad's birthday. Then my cousin also had a birthday before me. She was born. She was 9 when I was born. And then my other cousin had a baby after me. So there's 4 of us on the same day.
That is amazing.
It is. Yeah.
That's wild.
It is wild. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to film 2 to 3 videos this week. And then, yeah. And I actually did write down, I'm going to retrain myself and Agnes is what I wrote down. And then I'm going to work on that training that, you know, I love so much.
Yeah, the thorn in your side.
Thorn in my side.
It's the bane of your existence.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Jen, what do you have planned?
Okay, so of course, Halloween-a-thon kicks off Monday, so I'm so excited about that. I'm using the game board this year, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to be reading, but it's going to be fun. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Elaine at Cobalt Dragons channel at 3 p.m. Central with Nicole from Nicole's Bookish Nook and Gareth from Book Songs and Other Magic for a Nightmare Before Christmas trivia.
That's tomorrow, Sunday? That's Sunday?
That's tomorrow.
Sunday. Okay.
Sunday. Yep. And then like other stuff that I have to get done this week, I want to do complete my presentation, even if it's a rough draft. That way I can spend the next week kind of revising anything that needs to be revised. But I want to just go ahead and get it all out there to know what I'm going to talk about. Try to condense it all into 20 minutes because I have a lot to say, but I got to shorten it. And then prep and teach my classes and try not to have to dig into bags with cat litter in them.
It's a great goal.
And shut the toilet. Shut the toilet.
Yes.
Be faster when I sit my butt on the toilet so the cat can't get there first.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Lee, what are you planning?
I'm going to try to keep it very simple because I'm not feeling good. So I have a full day out with one of my friends on Tuesday. So I still want to do that. I want to do 5 miles in my Conqueror Challenge, and I want to finish a book. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's good if you have it simple and then surprise yourself by doing other stuff, as you feel better. Less guilt. At least that would be for me. Less guilt.
That's how I felt. Yeah.
My intentions for this week are I have to update my book spending because I did buy some books at the author event yesterday. I also went to another author event, Erica Spindler, and bought a book there. One nice thing about the author events, these two that I went to, is that the prices of their books was not cover prices. They sold the books for less. So, for example, one of the hardcovers was, I want to say, $19.99. It was $10. So all like the hardcovers were $10.
Wow.
All the paperbacks were like $5. So I really appreciated that. So even though I spent money, I spent less because I didn't have to pay publisher price, I guess is the best way to say it. And then I have to update the book spending. Andrew's coming today because he's getting his camera installed into the car that he inherited from my mother-in-law. So he and I will probably go have lunch and then go to Books A Million. And I know for a fact if they have a copy of Patricia Cornwell's next book, I'm going to buy it. It's in the bargain section, so at least it won't be expensive, but still, I have to add that to my list. Home library. This is on my 25 for 2025. I have it on Friday to try to do that. I can work on it during the week, but Friday in the morning after I plan my week, that's what I need to concentrate on. I have got to get this library organized. I also have my scrapbook room on here because it has become a disaster again because I have started to, Halloween decor and stuff like that. So I don't know how to combat this. I just think I have too much stuff and I don't have a place for everything. That's what I'm going to say. And then I also have to organize the Artist's Way read along that my group's going to be starting on the 29th. So we pushed it back a week just because I had things come up and I need to finish Atomic Habits. But I would like to do like a little virtual meetup with our peeps just to kind of get ideas of what they're envisioning this read along to look like. And so I got to work on that. Anyway, that's what I have. So let's see what everybody else is doing. Jen said, for my week, I want to catch up on grading, finish my assignment due Tuesday, and work on filming one of 2 videos. I have not posted a new video in such a long time. I understand that, Jen. I have not posted a video on my channel since April.
That's true.
Yeah, I have not. Travis said my goal for the upcoming week is to not have all my hair fall out with new database and projects at work because it's been a lot. It would be kind of funny if your hair just fell out. But then it regrew right off the bat, right? Yeah. And then Swank said, I plan to continue working on my to-do list. Very nice. Mindy's goal is to have 3 videos up on my channel with more film for the future. I have only managed to get 2 videos up so far this month. Yes, because if you're busy, it's understandable. Jen is telling you happy birthday, Laurie.
Oh, thank you, Jen.
Mindy said worked at the school, started up again, and I have been out of town the last 3 weekends. Yeah, that'll do it. We have more birthday wishes.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you.
And Travis is complimenting you about your soothing voice. You should do audiobooks. And happy birthday.
Well, thank you. And I hate my voice, but thank you for saying
Mindy says I need to finish preparing for Halloween-a-thon and tidy up my house.
Yeah.
And he said my scrapbook group is having a UFO unfinished objects weekend. I plan to work on my grandkids' Halloween costumes. Also have to pay bills and pick up a Michael's and grocery order. Nice.
Yeah.
More birthday wishes for Laurie.
Thank you.
Let's see, Lee. Apparently, Conqueror is bad about losing your medal in the mail. They lost my recent one.
That has happened to me. And then they sent me a picture of where it was delivered. And I said, great. And I sent them a picture of the front of my house. And I said, but this is what my house looks like. So can you please resend it?
Yeah.
And they told me they did, and I got it.
Oh, they did resend it. Excellent. Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. Jamie said, I also plan to continue watching Robert Redford movies this week. Yes, we lost an icon. I've been watching one a night. It's so good to revisit his body of work.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker for me.
Yeah.
Travis, it wouldn't really be funny. I mean, it would be funny. I would laugh, but then, of course, I'd be sad that you didn't have any hair. But I would think it would be one of those things. Maybe it would be like a cartoon situation where, you know, they lose their hair, but then it's miraculously back. So the other thing, I was thinking about something that one of you said about, oh gosh, I lost it out of my brain. Anyway, maybe it'll come back before we get off. Something about for next week. Darn. Jen, my uncle had a cat that liked the toilet. One night he forgot to check and just sat down on the toilet. Needless to say, he had to go to the hospital.
Oh no.
I'm also now, Travis said, I am now addicted to making a Kindle case inserts. I've been doing that as a side craft. Yes, he did the Terrifier one, which I thought was pretty cool. And as Lee said, it was terrifying. And yes, Laurie, it hit me hard too.
Yeah. I thought I was going to marry Robert Redford when I was young. I was sure he was going to take one look at me. He was going to find me in Chicago. He was going to take one look at me, and that was going to be it.
And that would be the end, right?
Yeah.
That would be the end. Well, we are finished with everybody's intentions. I hope that everyone, you know, is able to accomplish something, whether it is the intentions you set for today, because as we know, life can get kind of crazy. You know, sometimes you end up getting sick. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you end up having an accident. Just sometimes, you know, something happy happens. Somebody comes into town, or, you know, somebody invites you to go do something that you were unexpected. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that it's a bad thing that sends you off your rails. It could be something good and positive as well. But I do hope that everyone can at least feel accomplished in some way with the week. And if you haven't sent any intentions that you consider big, but they're more like self-care, that's important too. That in itself is an intention to take care of yourself. So keep that in mind as well. You don't have to have some big goal or project or something to do. And if you do have a big goal, project, something hard that you've been pondering, you might have to do it. You know, take a listen to Gretchen Rubin's podcast, and maybe that'll help you, you know, give you a little nudge. And before we leave, Jen says, oh man, Nugget loves the toilet. I have to keep the lids all down because he puts his toes in there. Oh, toys. I thought it was his toes. His toys. Yeah, you wouldn't want to have to call a plumber to snake that out of there, right?
No.
Travis said, glad I could catch y'all. Have a great week. And Lee, feel better. Get you some emergency.
Oh, that is a powerful thing.
Yes, thank you.
Jen said, thank you again for a productive morning. Feel better, Lee. Have a great week all. And glad I could join for a bit and see all your smiling faces. Oh, we love you. We love all of you. I don't know if my little hearts will go. Thanks, ladies. This always makes my Saturday. And with that, I want to say thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. And, you know, stay amazing. Be adventurous. Just be safe in your adventures. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.